What's up, you guys? It's your girl, Chrys.
And I'm Stef.
And we outside
At the Ladyy Lounge. And this is our segment, Get Read.
With the book, The Last Word.
By Taylor Adams. Taylor Adams.
Psychological thriller.
Yes. Another psychological thriller.
Yes, of course. And this is a spoiler alert, okay? Just want to...
This whole every segment that we do is a spoiler alert.
But I'm still going to put the disclaimer up there because I don't want to see nothing in the comments. So if you, like I said, if you read the book, join us. If you haven't read the book but just want to hear us talk about it, welcome. And you guys know what to do.
Yeah.
So,
hey. All right, let's get started. Taylor Adams. This book was crazy. 4 parts, y'all. 4 parts of the book. Pretty much just to give a quick summary. No, I'm not giving a summary because you guys have already read the book. So, Chrys.
What shocked us the most?
What was the most what the fuck moment?
So I feel like my biggest what the fuck moment was when finding out Sean was alive. So for those of you who don't know, Sean is the wife of this woman, Emma. Emma basically is running away from, we don't know at this moment. We think it's because, her husband died and she's grieving. So when I say run away, I mean she's basically homeless. And what she does is she house sits. But she house sits like at this beach called...
On an island.
Yeah, island. So no contact. Like she unplugged the phones, all that. So I feel like my what the fuck moment was when like... kind of at the part where she like there's a phone call coming from Sean. And we're like, what the fuck? He was alive the whole time. So, what was your what the fuck moment?
My what the fuck moment was, okay, so, like Chrys was saying, she was staying at this beach house. So this beach house ended up being some lady's house, but the lady had a son, Howie. And so when Howie, she left a review online, right? And Howie did not like that. He was the author. And, he was creeping on her, stalking her ass, like, and it was wild how, it was crazy how, she could hear the toilet flush in the middle of the night.
And thinking that's normal, like thinking that's just, the house is just weird.
She was far gone. Like she was in some, like, her mind was not, her mental health was not there, obviously. Because a man was living in the same house with her and she didn't notice. Like, when she kept saying, like, she smelled that ham smell or something.
Or I think it was butter or something.
He was there.
Yeah, it was so weird.
I don't know. I would have known someone's in my house.
Just thinking it was normal, like. So.
And then she would unplug from, like, the world. Like, it was wild.
That is, also, like, when she was clearly grieving.
Yeah.
To the point
we
where
thought she was grieving her husband the whole time.
The whole time, I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but the locket that she wore around her necklace, it was always closed, mind you. Somehow it was assumed that she was grieving her husband.
Because the way the book was set up, you guys know how it's different parts, and every part you learn a little bit more. So, like, in part 2 or 3, you start understanding, like, oh God, her husband died. And she was in love with her husband, y'all, like y'all know. Because she didn't really get along. She didn't get along with people.
Like, she was an introvert. Like, she was
because she didn't really, like, her mom was like the only person that her grandpa or her grandpa.
Her grandpa was her like favorite person.
Yeah, and then that was pretty much
kind of, I think, an alcoholic.
Yeah, and that was pretty much it. So, but my what the fuck moment was when the night that Howie was stalking and trying to kill her. At this point, he had already killed the UPS guy or delivery guy. R.I.P. to you. And not Howie, what's his name? Deke had already showed up to the house trying to help her and stuff. Or maybe he hadn't showed up to the house, but she knew that she knew that she was in danger. So
this is when when Howie is in the house trying to kill her.
Right.
Yeah.
And so she gets away somehow. I don't really remember what part, but she's waiting for, she thinks that Deke the killer is about to walk in through the door. So she has this like sledgehammer or something.
Yeah, just a hammer. But mind you, let's also add
sledgehammer.
Big body, like, but, she also studied the serial killer, quote unquote, like
Howie. No, yes,
Howie. Because basically Howie, who is HK, what's it? H.G. Kane?
H.G. Kane, yeah.
H.G. Kane is the author name. We don't know who H.G. Kane is, okay? But, like, He writes these terrible murder mystery books. They're predictable, they're terrible, but keep in mind, it's coming from the murderer's perspective. Like, murders are being committed, and then he's writing books about it. Okay, so she's studying how, like, the victims, like, where they went wrong, and basically, I guess, what she can do better. Because when it came time for her, like, when it was like, oh, Murder Beach, like, she about to die, she remembered everything that the victims did, and
She knew how he moved,
yeah,
how the author moved, and the author wasn't writing a book, he was doing it in real life, but he was acting the same way as he would write about it. And essentially, like you guys know, like, she thought that he had killed all these people, and that every book that he had written about murderers were every book that was written by murderers, or every book that he wrote about murderers, was actually something that he did.
right.
So, she just thought she was next, but because she had read the book, she knew that what to do next. Anyways, my what the fuck moment, again, back to that, was she thinks that Howie's about to walk into the house, and this is her opportunity to escape, to save her dog, to get, and so she has her hammer ready, and she swears he's about to walk in the door, and someone walks through the door, but she swings with all her might and clacks him right in the eye or something like that, or in the
Finger.
face. Finger?
Because the light switch.
I thought it was the face.
Because remember, his finger was broken.
It was because of that?
Yeah, so remember, like, he knows the house. So when he's going downstairs in the basement, he automatically knows where the light switch was. She was in the corner in the cut. So when his hand went up, she swung and hit his hand. That's why his finger was broke. So, like, because when he tried to swing, the stairs was too, like, high. Because in the basement, you know how the ceiling is. So
I thought they were upstairs. I'm not talking about Howie. I'm talking about Deke.
Oh, you said hammer.
Yeah, she hit him with the hammer, right? In the face.
No, she stabbed him in the neck.
Give us a pause. I'm sorry. Earlier I said hammer. It's not hammer. She stabbed him. Okay, so she thinks she's about to stab Deke, the guy that's trying to kill her. Howie. Sorry, Howie. But it ends up being Deke, the guy that she thought was there to help her. But then he won't die. So at that moment, I thought, I literally, because the chapter ended, and I was like, oh my God, she got him. Like, oh my God, it's over. Like, she can finally run to the police or do something, save her dog. The next chapter starts off with it being Deke. Like, I don't know what part it was. I think it was Howie saying that it wasn't him, that it was Deke, that someone else got her or whatever. I don't remember how it is, but it wasn't him. And I literally thought it was over, because her only help at the time, because there was no police, no way to contact nobody, the mom wasn't there yet. Her only help was Deke,
the neighbor,
and she just stabbed him. So I was like, oh my fucking God, it is over. The story is over. She just killed her friend, and she's about to die. That was my biggest what the fuck moment. I would say another what the fuck moment was when I thought that Howie won, or Deke won, and literally drowned her in the ocean. I thought that was
my major what the fuck moment.
There's many parts in this book where I was like, I'm done reading this. I don't want to read this no more. And if I do finish, I don't like this book. Like, I was literally going to rate it as 0 stars until the end.
She was so concerned about Ladyy, the dog.
Yes, I was.
Oh my gosh. She said, Christina, I swear, if this dog dies, I'm not reading the book anymore. And I'm just like, he doesn't die, you're fine. Everything's fine.
Okay. And the book is filled with so many what the fuck moments, y'all, but y'all know that. Let's talk about who your favorite character is, Chris. Who is your favorite character? This book had a lot of...
Honestly, my favorite character would be Emma, especially around, like, in the beginning she wasn't, because I'm like, this girl's stupid, right? Like, if I saw an image or like a body in the corner of my room, like, you saw it, I don't know.
But you remember, I agree with you. I would have been the first, like, hell no, I'm about to sanctify this house up. Where's the holy oil? But, so, since you guys know spoilers, her husband wasn't the person that died. It was their daughter. Their daughter that was hard. That was a big shot. Another what the fuck moment. Her daughter that they tried so hard having as well. Like, they had trouble having children, right? So the little girl was the one that passed away in the car wreck. Her and her husband were fine. She was the one that was in the locket in the heart.
She couldn't handle that.
She couldn't have it. So for a person, she unplugged the phones, unplugged the Wi-Fi, didn't care if there's a shadow staring her. Really, she was prepared to die. She had the loss of her daughter had her at her final moments. Like, if she could have a gun and shoot herself, she might have done it. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was fine every day to kill herself.
Mm-hmm.
And so she wasn't scared to die, really. Cause I feel you. I would have been scared of the shadow too.
But what I do like about Emma though is like kind of like near the middle where she was like, you know what, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna do it myself.
Yep.
Like she was, that was the moment I was like, ooh, Emma, like let's go, we're fighting. That was because like she had a really.
She said, "Ain't no one killing me but me."
Facts. Like I'm not giving you that opportunity or anything like that to do that. Like what?
Yeah, that definitely. So Emma's your favorite character. What else did you like about her? I remember you mentioning me that you liked that she remembered what she read and like she was able to out trick him because he swore he knew how he was gonna get this girl, but she beat him at every little game. When we thought she wasn't gonna win, she won. Okay.
I just know that I feel like at the okay, so gotta go to the rock one when he was about to drown her. Mm-hmm. First of all, everything about that was weird, but the fact that she went to this like out of body experience and connected with her daughter, like, because she was beating herself up about the whole situation. So it's just like she needed that moment, and this is literally like a whole Sailor Moon moment where she just like transformed and was just freeing herself from the backpack straps. It was just like when I was reading it, I was like, oh, like you're reading every detail like up in that moment. So that was like, woo. And then the ending that had me.
But what was it about you? Like, because I'm about to talk about the ending too, but I'm going to talk about my character because that's who, you know. So what about the ending that you were like, wow?
She was a fighter. Like, she fought every time you thought she was about to die.
Every time and I swore Deke won, or Howie. Well, first I thought Howie won. Every time.
I just thought she
won.
Like,
and then every time, underdog. And then Howie was on her ass. But she still won every time. Until then. My favorite character is Sean. And I'm going to tell you why it was Sean. Yeah. We didn't really know about Sean until like later on, honestly. Whole time we thought Sean was dead. Not even a character, really. Just a memory. Then we find out this motherfucker was alive. And
the whole time.
The whole motherfucking time. Which was really crazy to me. But so before, I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why. Okay. The first time, the reason why I liked him was, and this time I was thinking he was dead. When she would talk about him, about his train thing and how he was shy at first to like do the train thing, but she was like, no. Mm-hmm. And then she would do it with him. Mm-hmm. Just like the love that they had was just like, that's why I was like, damn, like that's why she's so mentally fucked up right now. She don't care to die because she just lost the love of her life.
Exactly.
Because the way she would talk about him in past tense, like she really loved him and he was there for her. Like she saved his life first, like because they were in the mountains or whatever and he cut himself or something happened.
He cut off his finger.
Yes. But he was like there looking for her. Like they loved each other. Like they fell in love and whatever. So I was like, dang, like, you know, that's how I was introduced to him first. Yeah. And I find out he's alive. And then in one of her many times where she thought she was about to die, she saw that she got the voicemail. And when I thought she was going to die, in the next chapter, well, no, we thought she was dead. And in the next chapter, they show you, cause she was like, I'm never going to hear that voicemail like, ever. And I was like,
she thought she was a goner. She was, and at that point, she was dying.
Adams, this writer, literally put the voicemail in the book. So that was even crazier. That literally was the next chapter. So the voicemail got me just the way he was like, come home.
Baby,
like,
please.
Baby, please come home. We'll work it out. Whatever it is. I don't know if we knew if it was the daughter at this point. I think so.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know it was the daughter, or at least it didn't click.
No. If you didn't know, there was no clues that it was the daughter.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
The daughter was completely shocked.
I feel like for me, it was when she told the story of what actually happened. Yeah, like, I think, was that before or after when she had the out of body experience with the daughter?
No, we already knew about the daughter when the out of body experience happened.
Guys.
Yeah, but then we already knew. But what I was asking was when the voice in that part, did he mention anything about the
No,
daughter?
I don't remember anything. Just
Okay,
like,
so we didn't know about the daughter. The time we found out about the daughter was the time we found out. There
okay,
was no clues before.
okay,
That was
yeah.
a complete shock. I mean, I think so, right?
I think so. Leave it in the comments if we're missing something. Just let us know. It's been, yeah.
But in the voicemail, it said something. He was just pretty much like, we can work it out. I know it's been a while, but I still love you. Please come home. Please. He called her. Now that I remember, he called her because he was like, I feel now it's all coming back to me, y'all.
Okay.
He called her because it was the day that she was about to leave and go find him. And that was the day that Deke had planned, like, she has to go because he heard her say to the cop, but I feel like there's something like, it wasn't just Howie, like there's something else. Cause he said, cause she told the cops that Howie told her that someone sent him to do that.
Someone told me to kill
So
you.
the day that, she thought she got rid of Howie, Howie's dead. He's going to jail, or he's not dead, but he's going to jail, or maybe he is dead. I don't remember. He's going to jail. Cops are like, case closed. She goes to the house, packs all her stuff out, gets the dog ready, and then Deke decides to kill her because he's like, I can't have you, like, Deke already had the book deal too, but he was like, I can't have you ruining my story for me.
Yeah, because the whole time Deke was writing about the murders that were like happening.
Yes. So that day, her husband called her and sent her a voicemail saying, hey, I'm calling you because something just doesn't, he's like, I got a call from a cop, da, 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 and for some reason, something doesn't feel right today. I just want you to be safe. Be careful. Please come home. I love you. Like, we can make it up. That's what the voicemail was. He had sensed that something was going to happen, and something did happen that day. Deke he killed her pretty much. I mean, not really, but really tried his best. And so, so that voicemail, I was like, damn, her husband's alive and he wants to be with her. Cause at some point I found out her husband was alive, but I was like, maybe he don't want to be with her no more because
it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Like, but no, he did want to be with her. We found out that she just left. So at that moment I was like, dang, he still loves her. Like, he wants to be with her. He's sensing that something is wrong because that's his person.
Yeah.
And then the final reason that made me fall in love with this character was that finally she beats Deke. She doesn't drown. She gets that final push after the outer body experience with her daughter. And she's driving to go meet her mans.
That conversation also was like, oh.
Yes. Well, that's what I get to. So she calls him and is like, hey, I'm here, but I'll be there in like tomorrow because I still have like a 5-hour drive. Yeah. And he's like, Emma. And then he was like, drive 2 more hours and I'll drive 2 hours and like meet you halfway. I need to see you tonight.
Oh my God. I was
like, hey, I was like, no, Sean could have saved her from all of that.
And she did apologize for like him having to grieve by
He didn't
himself.
Even care. He was like, I don't even care.
No,
just
he didn't.
I mean, not that he didn't care. I mean, he said, where are you? I mean, I'm like, sure he cared, but not like
for her to be gone for 3 months.
Yeah, like I mean, as in care. I'm sure he cares. Like, I'm sure they'll talk about it, whatever. But I'm saying like care. Like, he was ready to see her. He's not like, we need to like, don't talk to me because that was, he didn't care. Like, he was ready to see this girl.
Yeah.
Especially because he felt like something was wrong. I feel like if he didn't care, or if he like,
he would have never called.
Yeah.
So why didn't he call sooner?
He's respecting her space.
All right. After a week, hey, like, what are you doing? I'm sorry. What was it? 3 months?
No, it was almost like a year. I feel like
a
it was
year.
Like 6 months.
And then I'm calling you 6 months later. Nah, maybe you're right. He didn't care.
I think that they were both grieving their daughter.
Yeah, but she grieves that's differently. Wild.
So like he can be grieving. Maybe he wasn't in his state of mind to care about how this other woman was grieving because he was grieving.
We're back.
Like,
but I understand
they're both grieving their daughter,
right? But she just upped and left
That's
without
her way of grieving.
But I feel like for his part, I don't know. I just don't like that. I feel like that's when I wasn't.
You don't like that he didn't go after her? Because
like
you
called.
You can say, why did you leave? Because maybe that's how he felt in the
I don't
first
think
place.
he needed to ask, why did you leave? Because he knew, but it's just like after a week or maybe like, it's just like, hey, I would call, even if she didn't answer. I would still call, leave it, just because there was no evidence of like her, oh, you know what? She had a burner phone.
Yeah. She like dropped off the face of the earth.
Okay.
He probably did try. I mean, it was never mentioned, but it couldn't have been mentioned because he didn't even get the chance to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that he respected her boundaries when she left. He probably didn't think she was going to leave for so long, but at that point, she was untraceable. But to me, the fact that he, after not knowing for someone for 6 months, and you're the reason why their daughter's dead, and then just being like, I don't care, just come home, I want to see you. Like, he could have just, I don't know, like, and I'm not saying she grieved right or wrong, but I don't think there's any way to grieve. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sure there's better ways to do it, but at the end of the day, everyone's going to grieve like they grieve.
Mm-hmm.
But what she did was pretty intense, leaving the house.
I wouldn't receive that very well.
Right. And he was like, come home now. I want to see you. Or
right.
like, let's meet up.
Right.
So like, he really loved the hope.
I know. It was so beautiful. It was beautiful. But low key, it couldn't be me.
No, I feel you. I need to know.
Like,
we can try together.
Or I'm gonna have to have your location. And dang.
It was a crazy book, y'all.
I don't know. But yes, it was a crazy book. The dog survives. Yes. Emma.
Laika or Lika? Laika.
Let us know in the comments, because let me tell you, it's Laika.
Laika.
How would you pronounce that? I say Laika.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay. I forgot who else.
Tracy said
Laika
because she listened to the audio. Tracy's our friend. She listened to the audiobook, and in the audiobook it would say Laika.
And so to the narrator, if you ever see this, just know I don't really author.
Oh, the narrator to
the Audible. I want to understand how you got Laika. Like, I need you to kind of explain that, because you definitely had the A before the I. So how do you not pronounce the A and you just skipped the A and went to the I? So Laika, that Laika would be Lika to me.
We looked at some reviews, right?
Yes.
Book. Tell us what they were saying.
I was pretty shocked, honestly, because like I rate the book.
What do you rate it?
Honestly, because I was just so like emotionally involved with it. I was gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed the book. I, as Steph said earlier, read the book really fast. Like, I enjoyed it. There wasn't really a moment where I tuned out. So, there is some, I will say the reason why I give it a 4 is because the way it was written, there are some parts where I got confused of like who's narrating. Of course, our friend Tracy, who listened to the Audible, like she was able to really explain that to us because she listened to it. So
you
she
couldn't tell who was narrating?
No, there was a part where it was getting really confusing where I couldn't tell whose perspective it was from. But there was just a part where I was like, well, who's talking? Or where is this? Whose thought process is this?
Well, it's because Emma, I think sometimes in her part would talk as it was like a narrator, but it was really her talking.
Right, but I didn't comprehend that when I was reading it.
Because when it was Howie, I knew it was Howie.
Right. No, I understand that. Also, like the way he speaks. But like Deke was writing the whole time as well, but I wasn't considering Deke because like there's a part I can't tell you exactly. It would help if I had it exactly. I should have like underlined it. But there's just a part in the book where I just got confused a little bit. The book
also dropped a lot of gems throughout it. Like it kind of, we and Christina both thought it was Deke was the main villain in this book, whatever you want to call him. Mm-hmm. But every time we read a little bit more, we're like, there's no way it can be Deke. Like they're friends.
Right.
They're friends. And then Howie came into place and we're like, oh, it's definitely not Deke. It's Howie. But it would drop little like gems about it could being Deke, but we're like, no. But it also would go back and be like, there's no way it's Deke.
And also like, I feel like because of the friendliness, of course I thought there's no way. Also, I thought Taylor Adams wouldn't make it that easy.
Yeah, right.
I was just like, you're not going to make it.
He did, but he didn't.
Right. He was like, okay, I'm gonna give you a thought, but I'm gonna make you second guess yourself thinking that you know, and then you think that you don't think you know.
Yeah, for sure. He
Yeah.
definitely did that. He did. That was good. I like that. I like that. We were like, oh, it's deep. And
Like
then
easy. Like
there was like too easy.
like no way. He wouldn't just let
Okay.
us predict it like
My
that.
rate is, I'm going to say an 8.5. I actually really, really enjoyed this. Sorry, out of 10. I actually really enjoyed this book. I actually liked it more than Verity. I feel like I've read another Frida McFadden. Is that? No. Oh, no, this is Taylor Adams. This is the first Taylor Adams book I read.
Mhm.
I thought you were a woman this whole time until like the last chapter. And then I found out you're a man. You did good. I gave it an 8.5. It kept my attention the whole time. I will say that there was many parts where I'm like, fuck this book. I'm never gonna read another book by him. But the way you ended this shit was so mind blowing. The fact that she reached, like, we didn't even get to the part where they actually reached each other, but just the fact that we knew they were about to reach each other, the fact that she beat Howie and then beat Dee.
Oh, the police call at the end. I
police,
love that
the
you
mom,
and he included
the way that she got the gun, the stun gun, like from the UP, just every little
she was
thing.
very strategic.
Yes. Yeah, 8.5. I really enjoyed Get Red. I would recommend, or not Get Red, The Last Word. I would really recommend that book. For real, for real. One of my favorites.
So if you want a good psychological thriller, I rated a 4 out of 5. She rated 8.5 out of 10. This is definitely on our top.
Yeah.
So on Goodreads, though, I was really surprised.
Nothing good.
I was really surprised that like it was a lot of, I would say the range on Goodreads 3 point something to 4, like that was the majority. But when I was reading the lower ratings, it was really shocking that, I mean,
You know what I've been thinking about? I've been thinking, and I mean, I can only speak for myself. I've only read maybe a handful of psychological thrillers, so there's obviously so many out there.
Yeah.
So these are very popular ones that we're reading because we've been recommended.
Yeah.
So for a person that's been reading psychological thrillers all their life, this might be like Verity
they're
might
probably
be
critiquing
yeah,
on a different level.
You feel me?
Yeah.
We're critiquing out of like 10 books that we've read, let's just say, right? But these people that have read like 100 psychological thrillers,
Yeah.
So maybe they're the ones that rated this book a 3.5. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause they're like, I read shit scarier.
So the one that I did read, he was just mentioning that like of how a lot of things were kind of dragged on. And so he gave it like, I think it was like a 3.4, but, and amongst other things, but when it was mentioned that, it was being dragged, I understood where that person was coming from. So, but I still give it out 4 out of 5. So.
Yeah, I love the book. It was really good.
What are we reading next?
We are currently reading The Teacher by Frida McFadden.
Yes.
We've read a couple of her books already. I read one of her books. I think you read a couple.
Never Lie,
which I love too. One of my top books. So I'm excited. We're reading it now. We just started not too long ago, and it's pretty crazy as well. But yeah, y'all, drop your book recommendations.
We outside, y'all.
Yeah, we're outside. The ambulance is coming by. But thanks for tuning in. This is Get Red
with The Last Word. And thanks for tuning in to the Ladyy Lounge.
I'm Steph.
I'm Chrys, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.